There is a channel called Ink Explainer that has only 11 videos uploaded, and not a single one of them shows a human face. It just crossed 39,000 subscribers. No camera, no studio, and no editing skills involved. Surprisingly, this is not an old channel at all. It started this year, on April 9th, and has already gained over 3 million views. Every single frame you see was generated entirely by artificial intelligence, and the person behind it built the whole thing using two tools that most people already have open in a browser tab right now. Tools they have probably never once thought to combine. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will have the full blueprint from start to finish, and you will be able to build your own version of this today. Let's start with the truth nobody tells you when you first hear about faceless AI channels. Most people fail at this, not because the tools are hard, but because they never lock down a repeatable system they can use over and over again. So, before we touch anything, let's understand the shape of what we are building. We are going to use one tool to handle all the thinking, meaning the research, the story, the script, the visual direction, and the thumbnail concept. Then we are going to use a second tool to turn all of that thinking into actual moving footage. And the best part is that both of these tools are completely free to use. Once you see how these two pieces fit together, you will never look at faceless content the same way again. Before we dive into the tutorial, here is a short glimpse of a video I created using this exact method, and it did not cost me a single dollar to make.
Think about the last time you reached for a roll of toilet paper. It is perhaps the most overlooked yet essential luxury of the modern world. But for 99% of our history, this soft, white convenience didn't exist. Which raises a question that is as uncomfortable as it is fascinating. What did we do instead?
The first tool is Google's research and writing assistant, NotebookLM. If you have never used it before, open a browser, search for it by name, click on the very official link that comes up, and sign in with your Google account. It has a generous free tier, and everything we are about to do today fits comfortably inside that free plan. We are going to do the entire brainwork side of this build inside NotebookLM first. That means the research, the titles, the script style, the scenes, and even the thumbnail prompt will all come from here. Once you are signed in, click on Create New Notebook to open up a blank notebook. This blank space is where all the planning happens before we generate a single image. Now here is the move that saves you hours of guesswork. Instead of trying to invent a brand new format from scratch, we are going to feed the notebook an existing channel that already works well in this exact style, and let the AI study it for us. Inside your blank notebook, look for the option that says Website Links. Click on it, and you will see where to paste source links. Now, open a new browser tab, go to YouTube, and search for the channel you want to model. For this tutorial, that channel is called Ink Explainer. Once you are on the channel's page, click on the address bar at the top of your browser, copy the full URL, and go back to your NotebookLM tab. Paste that link into the box, then click Submit, and let it process. This step simply lets the notebook read and study every video on that channel, so give it a minute or two to finish. Once it is done processing, go to the chat box and ask it directly to break down the format it just studied. Be specific about what you want. Ask it to give you the point of view style the channel uses, meaning whether the narrator speaks as the main character or as an outside storyteller. Ask for the typical video length, the pacing, meaning how quickly the story moves from one moment to the next, and the overall tone, meaning whether it feels serious, playful, dramatic, and so on. Also ask it to point out the one thing this channel does that makes it stand out from every other channel in this same niche, so that you know exactly what to keep and what to change when you build your own version. What comes back from this is essentially a complete blueprint explaining why that channel performs so well, and you did not have to sit there and reverse engineer any of it yourself. Now let me clarify something important here so there is no confusion at all. This is not about copying anyone's video. We are not lifting their scripts, we are not lifting their scenes, and we are not lifting their dialogue word for word. What we are extracting is structure, meaning the underlying shape and pattern of how the content is built. This is the exact same thing any writer does when they study a genre before writing their own story inside it. The story you tell, the character you create, and every single line that follows will be entirely original to you. That distinction really matters, so keep it in mind as we move forward through the rest of this workflow. With the format understood, it is time to generate your own concept for the video. If you already have a historical figure or a specific story in mind, you can simply type it directly into the chat box. But if you do not have an idea yet, that is completely fine, because NotebookLM can generate ideas for you. Just type in a prompt like this one, based on the format you just learned. Suggest 10 video concept ideas that would fit this channel's style, and give me a mix of historical figures, time periods, and lesser-known stories so that I have real options to choose from. If you want the exact prompts I am using throughout this entire tutorial, just comment the word workflow below this video, and I will send them over to you right away. Once you send that prompt, NotebookLM will hand you back a full list of 10 fresh ideas, all written in the same style and structure as the channel you studied earlier. Take a moment to read through the list and pick whichever one excites you the most, since you are about to build an entire video around it. For this walkthrough, we are going to build around idea number 7 on the list, which is, what did humans use before toilet paper? Once your video idea is locked in, ask the notebook to give you a full script breakdown. Videos like this one are normally somewhere between 9 and 15 minutes long. For this tutorial, I am going to ask for a 1-minute version instead, just so you can see the entire process from start to finish without sitting through a long video. But in your own case, keep your script at that normal length, and make sure to follow every single step closely so the final result actually matches what these channels are putting out. When you paste the prompt, simply replace that placeholder with the title you chose, which in my case is idea number 7, so that NotebookLM knows exactly which topic to build the script around. Now look at what NotebookLM gave us back. It wrote a strong opening hook along with the full narration script, using that same immersive point of view style we studied earlier from the original channel. It also split everything clearly into 2 columns, one for the narration and one for the visual description. This is incredibly useful because it keeps your voiceover script and your visual instructions organized in one single place, instead of having them scattered across separate documents that you have to keep jumping between. If you are only a few minutes into building this and it already feels like a lot to take in, take a breath, because it is completely normal to feel that way at first. Every single step in this workflow takes under 2 minutes to complete once you have done it a single time. The system itself is simple. It just needs to be followed in the right order, one step at a time. Before we generate anything visual, we need to lock in the look of your channel, and this step matters a lot, because this is exactly where most beginners lose consistency in their videos. Here is how to do it properly. First, go back to the reference channel you are modeling and open up one of their videos. While the video is playing, press Shift plus the Windows key plus S on your keyboard. This activates the snipping tool, which lets you capture a screenshot of anything on your screen. Use it to take a screenshot of one of the visuals inside that video, ideally one that really represents the overall art style of the channel. Now, go back to your NotebookLM tab and click on Add Sources again. This time, upload that screenshot as your reference image. This image is going to capture the exact art style you want your own channel to have going forward. Once it is uploaded, type in a simple instruction telling the notebook to treat that image as the fixed visual style for every single scene from this point onward. Once you send that instruction, every prompt NotebookLM writes for you from here on out will be built around that one locked look, which is exactly what keeps your channel feeling consistent from video to video, instead of looking like a random mix of different styles. Now ask the notebook to break your full script into 8-second segments. The reason we are using 8-second segments specifically is because we will be using Veo 3 inside Google Flow, and this tool generates videos in 8-second clips. So we need our script broken down to match that exact length. For each segment, request 3 things from the notebook, and make sure you ask for them in this exact order. A character reference description first, an image prompt second, and a video prompt third. This order really does matter, and here is why. We are always going to generate the still image first, and then use that exact image to animate the video afterward. That is the real secret behind keeping your character looking identical from one scene to the next, instead of the character's face or outfit changing every time a new clip is generated. And there it is. NotebookLM gave us a character reference prompt, and it divided the entire script into 8 separate scenes. Each one of those scenes comes with its own image prompt first, which is built using that locked character reference we set up earlier, followed by its own video prompt second. Before we leave this tool, there is one more thing we need to grab, and that is a thumbnail prompt. Type in a prompt like this one, asking NotebookLM for a thumbnail built from the most dramatic, high-stakes moment in your story, along with a short, punchy text overlay pulled from your video title, styled to match the channel's existing thumbnails, and kept consistent with your locked character and art style. Once NotebookLM gives you that thumbnail prompt, go ahead and save everything from this entire session in one single place, whether that is a Google Doc or a plain text file. At this point, you now have every single piece of text you need to produce the entire video, the script, the character reference, all 8 image and video prompts, and now the thumbnail prompt too. If you've made it this far, you already have the hardest part of this workflow done, and most people quit right before this point simply because they didn't know how close they were. Now we move to the second tool, which is Google's video generation platform called Flow. Search for it in your browser, sign in using your Google account, and click on New Project to get started. Once you are inside, you will see a media panel on the left side of your screen, which contains all your media, your characters, your scenes, and your tools. In the center of the screen, you will see a chat box, and this is where you will be pasting in all of your prompts. If you notice that the agent option is currently selected, go ahead and deselect it, since we need the image generation settings activated instead. Next, go to Settings, and make sure the image option is selected rather than video. Set your aspect ratio to 16:9, which gives you the standard widescreen format used for YouTube. Then set the number of images per generation to 2, so that you get 2 results back each time, instead of being locked into just one option. After that, select the most advanced image model available to you, since this gives you the sharpest and most consistent character results. And here is the good news. Generating images costs 0 credits, which means you can generate as many images as you need without ever hitting a paywall. Before you generate anything, upload that same reference image you used earlier to lock your style inside NotebookLM and attach it to your prompt. This reference image becomes your anchor for every single scene going forward, and it is what keeps your character looking the same throughout the entire video. Now, take the image prompt for scene 1, the one that already includes the locked character reference that NotebookLM wrote for you, and paste it into the chat box directly below your uploaded reference image. Then hit Generate. After a moment, you will receive 2 results back. You will notice that the character and the overall visual style clearly matches your reference image, while still standing on its own as a brand new, original image. Go ahead and delete the one you like less, and keep the best version as your final image for this first scene. Now repeat this exact same process for every remaining scene in your script. Drop in the reference image, which is already saved inside Google Flow at this point, then paste in the next image prompt from NotebookLM, and hit Generate. Once I finished this process, I had generated all 8 scenes, and for each one, I kept only the single best image out of the results. If you are getting value from this video so far, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon because it helps this channel a lot. Now that all of your scene images are generated, let's go ahead and turn them into actual video clips. This is the part that really brings every visual to life, and it also reduces your chances of getting demonetized because your content now has real value for the viewer, instead of just being a series of still images sitting on the screen. Start by dragging your first scene image directly into the chat box inside Google Flow. Then go back to your NotebookLM tab, scroll up to find the matching motion prompt for that same scene, copy it, and paste it here inside Google Flow, right below the image you just dropped in. Now change your settings from image to video. Make sure you have ingredients selected as well, because this setting is what tells Flow to animate that exact character you uploaded, instead of generating a completely new one from scratch. Keep your aspect ratio set to 16:9. Set the number of videos per generation to 1, so that you are not wasting any credits on extra versions you do not need. From the model list, choose OmniFlash, since it produces the smoothest motion out of the available options. Set the duration to 8 seconds, since that matches exactly what we planned for back when we broke the script into 8-second segments. Once everything is set, hit Generate. And here is the clip. You can see it keeps the same character and the same visual style, with smooth motion and dynamic camera movement running through it. This is exactly what makes your content eligible for monetization. Unlike most channels out there that just use fixed, still images sitting on the screen without any real motion. Now let's animate scene 2, following the exact same steps. Drop the scene 2 image into the prompt box, go back to your notebook, copy the next motion prompt in the list, paste it in here, and hit generate. Following these same steps for every remaining scene, all 8 scenes have now been converted into full video clips. Keeping the same character and the same visual style consistent throughout each one is what ties the entire story together and makes it feel like one continuous video instead of 8 separate clips stitched together at random. Now that we have all of our video clips ready, the next step is generating a voiceover for the entire video. For this, use a free text-to-speech platform such as ElevenLabs. Once you log in, you get access to realistic voices that actually sound human, and on top of that, you receive 10,000 free credits every single month that refresh automatically. Select the text-to-speech option, then go back to your NotebookLM tab and copy the audio narration for scene 1. Paste that narration into ElevenLabs, and under the Models section, choose 11v3, since it gives you the most natural and accurate results. Now, from the full voice library, choose a voice that matches your character's tone. For this example, I am going to pick the voice called Alex, and then hit generate. You will get 2 results back. Let's listen through both of them.
Think about the last time you reached for a roll of toilet paper. It is perhaps the most overlooked yet essential luxury of the modern world. Think about the last time you reached for a roll of toilet paper.
I personally like the first one better, so I am going to save that one directly to my device. Following this same process, generate the narration for the rest of your scenes one at a time. However, if you happen to be working on a longer video, say around 8 minutes long, there is no need to generate the narration in small segments like we did here. Instead, simply paste the entire script in at once and convert the whole thing into speech in a single generation. This keeps your workflow much faster and saves you a lot of time when you are working with longer scripts. For the final stage, we are going to compile everything together into a finished, ready-to-publish video. Open any free video editor of your choice, such as CapCut. Start by importing all of your video clips in order, and then also import your voiceover files. Naming each file in order as you import them keeps everything organized and makes it much easier to arrange during the editing process. Place your video clips onto your timeline in the same sequential order that your story unfolds, meaning scene 1 first, scene 2 after it, and so on all the way through. Then drop your voiceover track underneath your video clips, and align each line of narration with the clip it is meant to match. Now, in order for your video clips to sync up perfectly with each section of the voiceover, select a clip, go to its speed setting, and either reduce or increase the speed slightly, depending on whether that clip needs to be shorter or longer to match the length of the corresponding voiceover section. Once everything lines up and is in sync, select all of your video clips at once and reduce their volume down a little bit. This step matters because Veo 3 generates videos that already come with their own background sound built in, so lowering that volume keeps your voiceover clear and easy to hear on top of it. Let's go ahead and play the finished video back now, so you can watch everything we were able to build together, from start to finish.
Think about the last time you reached for a roll of toilet paper. It is perhaps the most overlooked yet essential luxury of the modern world. But for 99% of our history, this soft, white convenience didn't exist. Which raises a question that is as uncomfortable as it is fascinating. What did we do instead? Depending on where your ancestors lived, their solutions were creative. In the frozen north, you might have reached for a handful of snow or soft moss. In the tropics, large, waxy leaves. But as we moved into civilization, things got much stranger. If you were an ancient Roman using a public latrine, you would have used a xylospongium. This was literally a sea sponge on a wooden stick. And here's the catch. It was communal. You'd use it, rinse it in a bucket of vinegar or salt water, and leave it for the next person. And in ancient Greece, they often used pessoi, small, smooth pieces of ceramic or pebbles. Incredibly, some of these stones have been found with names inscribed on them. It suggests that for some, Hygiene was an opportunity to literally wipe their problems away with the names of their enemies.
Last step now, and that is your thumbnail. Take the thumbnail prompt that NotebookLM wrote for you earlier and paste it into Google Flow. Then attach one of your best generated scene images as a reference so that the final thumbnail actually looks like the same character from your video instead of generating a completely different looking face. Hit generate, and you will get a polished, professional-looking thumbnail like this one, almost as if it was made by a hired designer. Once you are happy with it, download it in 2K, which is the upscaled version, so that you get the highest possible quality for your final output. And that is the entire system. One tool for the thinking, one tool for the visuals, a free voice generator, and a free editor. All stitched together into a channel that looks nothing like it cost you anything to make. If you want to see exactly how far this format can be pushed across multiple niches and channels, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell icon so that you don't miss a single video. Drop a comment by typing workflow, letting me know to send you all the prompts used in this video. Happy creating, and I will see you in the next video.